All right, you're watching this video because you want to hear about controversy. And the number one biggest controversy out there right now is this pre-marketing of your listing. A lot of you may not know this. It's becoming a big hoopla, as if the real estate market hasn't gone a little crazy with all this National Association of Realtors lawsuits and settlements. This is another doozy. What is it? Why is it so controversial? So Zillow and Redfin are not happy about pre-marketing listings because they lose out. And how do they lose out? What you don't realize is when you're going on a lot of these real estate websites, such as Zillow.com, Realtor.com, Redfin, Homes.com, when you're calling that number on their site, it is directed to their agent, meaning Redfin agent, Zillow agent, not the listing agent. So you got to be real careful with that, buyers out there, because you think you're calling the agent that's listing the house and it's not. And then what'll happen is those agents will then get a buyer broker agreement. And now Redfin, Zillow, all these real estate websites have these agents that are now locked into a contract with a potential buyer. That's how they make a lot of their money. So this pre-marketing deal, what does that mean? That means you sign a listing agreement with Audra Lambert, and it says, Audra Lambert is my listing agent. Once you sign that listing agreement, you are signing a listing agreement with my broker, which happens to be Realty One Group West. Because we are the broker of this transaction, we can then market this in my brokerage firm before it even goes on MLS. That's called pre-marketing, okay? And if I, coordinate a deal, the deal stays in-house. Now, these real estate websites don't love that. They hate it because their agents aren't getting the deal. So what Zillow and Redfin are now saying is they're saying, whoa, we don't like this. And if we catch any broker or any agent pre-marketing these listings before they go on MLS, we are going to shadow ban their listing, meaning that listing will not go on their platforms the entire duration of the listing agreement. Folks, this is crazy. Oh my gosh, just what we need, more real estate wars. Imagine if you go to all this work to put your house on the market and you're all excited, you go to Zillow to go check out, your stats and see how it looks online, and there's nothing there because your agent was pre-marketing and somebody told on them or whatever, and now your listing's no longer on the largest platform in the world. This is a major, major problem. So be careful that you don't hire an inexperienced agent that is unaware of this. I promise you, a lot of agents don't even know this exists. So what am I doing about it with my clients? So my job as a listing agent is to sell a home. I don't need all this extra drama. I don't have patience for it. So when I'm signing a listing agreement with my client, I let them know, hey, listen, if I bring in an off-market buyer, that may or may happen. I do have people reaching out to me, but I'm not going to actively market, try to go after or share any information with my brokerage house because I want to protect you. The best way to sell your home is to make it shine online. There's another designation called coming soon. Coming soon's different. Coming soon is, hey, universe, my house is coming soon on the market. Now, only MLS users see this coming soon. In the old days, they used to publicize this on these different real estate websites. Now they don't. It's just a coming soon designation in MLS. But when that coming soon is posted in MLS, we cannot show your house. It just is like, hey, we're coming soon. I don't love that either. Like, let's just put the house on the market. Let's treat this like a business. Let's sell your house as quick as possible and just let all the drama with all this pre-marketing stuff go by the wayside. Let them fight it out. Let's just get focused on selling your home. So if you are working with an agent right now who's like, well, we can do this pre-listing, blah, 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 and we can market to all these people. Compass is notorious for this. This is one of their major things that they like to pitch their clients. If you are one of those clients, just say no. Just put the house on the market, get it going, avoid any drama. Let's move on. Now, I'm a huge advocate of putting the power back into the consumer's hands. In fact, that's the primary basis of my entire channel, trying to educate buyers and sellers so you can make really good decisions for yourselves. Back in the day, we were all buffaloed. Buffaloed. My grandfather used to use that word. I love that word, buffaloed. But, we kind of were buffaloed, pushed around a little bit. We didn't know what we know now. We didn't have YouTube video. We didn't have technology on our fingertips. So in my opinion, if you want to sell your house yourself, then you should be able to do that. If you want to sell your house off market, you as a homeowner should be able to do that. And if you want to hire a listing agent or a buyer's agent to represent you in the buy or the sale of your home, you should be able to do that. So let these big, huge real estate companies go battle it out. But to protect yourself, just make sure you understand what the pros and cons are or what the downsides could be if you're pre-marketing your house before you put it on the market. It is a doozer right now. Okay, this is a fussy one, but let's just talk about it. Let's have some fun today. All right, that for sale sign that goes on the property. A lot of you are like, I don't want that sign, Audra. I don't like it. You know, I want to have my privacy. I don't want my neighbors to know. I haven't told them yet. I just don't want a sign, and it's more exclusive not having a sign on the property. Newsflash, you're wrong. As soon as your property goes on the market, the entire universe knows that your house is on the market. Your neighbors already know. Your grandma in Michigan knows that your house is on the market. So if you want privacy and exclusivity and you don't want to have anybody know, don't put your house on MLS, okay? Do a private showing, which you're not going to probably generate a lot of activity doing it, you know, off market. And the reason why I like putting a sign out front is because I get to market myself. Totally kidding, but you know you were thinking that. No, the reason why I like putting a sign out front is because it helps people locate the property. It's super frustrating. I was taking a buyer around yesterday. My app wasn't working and we're just really struggling. And you have a sign on the property, you know right where to go. The other thing is you have people driving down the street and they see a sign, they like the looks of your house, they take a picture with their phone and, you know, voila, all the details of the home show up. So it is an additional level of marketing. If you're on the fence about it, I say do it. If it's a vacant property, and a lot of you are worried about people like, you know, seeing it's a vacant property, you know, just talk to your agent. Every area is different, but I'm a big advocate of putting that for sale sign on the property for the reasons I just specified. Okay, quick break. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subscribers. And honestly, the main reason why I want to do this is because I hear so many success stories about, you know, these buyers and sellers that I'm helping take the power back when they're putting their house on the market, helping them prepare their house, helping them negotiate. And I don't know, I get up every day and I'm like, this is so great. I wish this could be my full-time job. When I'm having a bad day, I just go look at my comments and it keeps me motivated. So please help me push out this information out to the masses so we can all have a better experience when we're buying or selling a home. Let's get back into it. Another controversial topic is those open houses. A lot of you just hate them. You're like, I ain't doing it. And I got some people telling me, yeah, I want an open house every day until you sell it. So there's actually two camps, right? Now, I'm going to tell you that I like doing open houses the first 2 weeks of the listing because that's usually where we get the most interest. Right now, because the market's a little volatile, it's slowing down, it's taking longer to sell homes, I like to do open houses to get as many people as I can through that open house. And with all the different buyer compensation changes, a lot of these buyers are going to open houses without an agent. So if you are selling your home right now in this market, a lot of buyers are just coming right into my open houses. And, you know, oftentimes they're just using me or one of my team members to write the contract for them. So they're not going to probably call me to set up an appointment. We want to make it easier for them. And newsflash, a lot of your neighbors do not come into the open house anymore because they get to see it online. And they don't want to come to the open house because they're going to meet, you know, a snarky little aggressive realtor like myself, asking them for their information and picking on them. So if they can just view your home online, much easier for them. So if you are, once again, on the fence about doing an open house, maybe you do it that first weekend. Instead of, you know, showing the property 10 times, maybe you just focus everybody in a short period of time on a weekend. Don't be, you know, too close-minded about it. And of course, you're going to take all your valuables, all your medications, everything of significance, and hide it and put it away. Even if you're doing private showings, it's a good idea to do that. HOA, Homeowners Association. Lots of controversy around that one. Okay, so we're not going to talk about whether or not you should be in an HOA or not. There's pros and cons to both, and I have done a video, which I will link down below. But this is where it becomes a problem. Right now, just about on every transaction that I have an HOA, as soon as the property goes under contract, and the escrow company or the title company orders those HOA documents, the HOA is notified and they send somebody out to the property. They go inspect the property and then they start making notes and create violations that's going to hold up the escrow or the transaction. Like, oh, the eaves aren't painted. And in the one that's currently under contract that I have, it's like, oh, the security camera needs approval. It wasn't on there. So they make all these lists. Now, here's the problem. you cannot close escrow until those things are remedied. Before you put your house on the market, you might want to contact your HOA member and say, hey, can we have somebody come out and do an inspection on this property so I don't get hung up? Because some of these things are not remedied overnight. And sometimes those HOAs, put this violation 2 days before closing, and now the whole entire process is held up. It is a nightmare right now. Okay, this one is driving me absolutely bonkers right now. And that is, you need to order your HOA docs on a rush. Now, a lot of you sellers are out there going,
are you going to pay another $175 to rush the documents? The buyers can just wait, and I don't even know if they're in right now.
All right, folks, that is silly. That is silly, because what you don't know is that as soon as that buyer receives those HOA documents, they have an additional 5 days to review those documents. And if there's something in there that they don't like, they can back out. And they don't remove contingencies until those HOA documents have been delivered, and they have 5 days to review it. So order those on a rush. You want to deliver all seller documents to your buyer so they can review upfront so they don't back out. You want that contingency removal ASAP. Please, please, please promise me you are going to order your HOA documents on a rush. Thank you. Oh, and by the way, when you're interviewing your agent, just ask them to pay for the rush. It's a complimentary service that I offer all my clients. I always pay for that because I don't have time to mess around. Time is not something that we want to waste. Write that in the contract. I love that. Have your listing agent pay for a rush on your HOA docs. That's good. I like that. It's rich. And of course, a lot of you know that I already have a referral network. If you're looking for great agents in your area, whether you're buying or selling, I have a link down below, and we'll find you some agents that you can interview. There's no obligation. It's always good to make sure that you're working with top quality agents in your area. We're here to help. This little statement is so controversial and creates so much drama, and that is the as is clause in our purchase agreements. Now, a lot of you tell me, Audra, I don't care. I'm not doing any repairs and I'm selling my house as is. And just so you know, all homes are sold as is. And so then your next question is going to be, well, then why do we have these repair requests and these credits? Well, because the buyers are making offers without knowing the true condition of the home, which is why I always recommend that you do a home inspection before you put your house on the market, because when you produce that home inspection, you can say, hey, this is the condition of the house that I'm aware of. At least they have an understanding that maybe that HVAC system or the condenser is not working or the refrigerator is already blown out. And you let them know, listen, I'm selling this house as is. Here's all my seller disclosures. Here's my home inspection. Here's my termite report. Here's my pest control, whatever all the things you want to disclose to your buyer. Have them make their offer with that in mind. So where it becomes complicated is you receive an offer, you're not handing over any information to that buyer. Then they find all these things that are wrong with the property that they had no idea. And then they come back with a repair request because they're going to say, listen, I know the house is sold as is, but these things were not disclosed to me when I made this offer. So that's why that repair request is in place. Now, typically when I'm selling my own listings to a buyer, I let them know, hey, we did a home inspection. Here's the pest control inspection. And by the way, the seller is making no credits and or any repairs. I write that in the contract. I don't write as is. It's contradictory when you have it two places in the contract. So the proper terminology is sellers will provide no credits and or repairs to the buyer. Write that down. It's a powerful, powerful statement. But it's even more powerful when you can back it up with a pre-home inspection, which I'm highly going to recommend everyone watching this channel to do. And by the way, if you're interviewing your listing agent, just say, hey, I want you to pay for my home inspection. Yeah, just ask. Why not? I mean, all they can do is say no. I mean, ask them. Yeah, why not? Save a few bucks. You don't get unless you ask, right? So something that's very controversial that I get all the time when I'm dealing with my sellers is they're like,
okay, Audra, my HVAC system's kind of tired and my roof has some leaks in it and I probably need to replace the roof, but I don't want to. And my appliances, they're getting tired and they look kind of old, but I don't want to do any of that. Do I have to do it to sell my house?
And the answer is you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. But what I see is the big challenge is that these sellers are like, oh, great, I don't have to do it, but they want top dollar. And then they're super frustrated because, they get these offers that are not what they were expecting because the buyer is going to come in and they're going to see all these things that are going to need to be replaced or repaired in the near future. So some of you are like, well, let's just do the repairs then. Let's get it replaced. Well, just be careful because right now the market's stabilizing. We just got the numbers in. March in 2025 was down 5.9% compared to the previous March in 2024. So I hate for anybody that's selling their home to put a huge investment into their property for the sole purpose of reselling it. I would just say, let's get really clear on what your price is. Work with an agent that you trust that's going to give you honest feedback. The worst thing you can do in this market right now is overprice your house. And if you have a lot of things that need to be repaired on your home, telling you right now, pricing it right is the best strategy. I do have a free resource link down below. It gives you questions you can ask your listing agent, your buyer's agent. There's a home inspection checklist. There's a staging checklist. There's questions that you should fill out to give to your listing agent. This is all free and it will help you find that right agent. And the final controversy out there is whether or not you like my laugh. Oh my gosh, there are so many people that just say, I love her laugh. And there's other people that are like, I hate it. I hate watching her show because she laughs all the time. Oh my gosh. So anyway, I just want y'all to know that I can't get rid of my laugh. I am who I am. And I'm going to go take a nap right now because I'm a little under the weather. You probably hear it in my nose a little bit. But thanks for watching this video. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'll be happy to get to them. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.